the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We bring you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Z Gervasio. In tonight's game plan, Big Beau Belga joins us tonight to break down his list of top rim protectors in the PBA today.
Then, in light of Klay Thompson's return, we'll compare Big Beau Belga's favorite all-time NBA team, the 1996 Chicago Bulls, to another powerhouse, the 2017 Golden State Warriors. And we'll list down GERVACIO'S players who should come back to play indoor volleyball. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Now, in basketball, the rim protector is the team's last line of defense against a bucket. Now, tonight, two-time PBA champ Beau Belga joins us to give his list of the top rim protectors in the league today. Beau, kamusta ka naman? Welcome to the game.
Hi, Beau. Kamusta?
Ayun, habang inaayos pa natin yung connection ni Beau, syempre kapag pinag-uusapan natin yung mga rim protectors, it's not just the guy who gets all the blocks. It always has to be the guy who's that big defensive presence, a guy that's able to be there and alter shots even before they're taken. And just to tease things a bit here, si Beau kasi we picked this particular topic kasi nakita natin yung top blocks per game ng PBA from all their stars recently. And you know what? We'll try to get Beau back in a bit. But then you give me the name of the first one that Beau picked out and I'll try to defend him muna. At ba't niya pinili to?
In his honor. Okay, so si Beau sent us a list. There are 5 PBA athletes on this list. So ang unang-unang nasa, in no particular order, sa listahan niya ay ang PBA champ and 2-time All-Star Raymond Almazan of the Meralco Bulls.
Alam mo si Raymond kasi, syempre kailangan natin banggitin kasi first in the league siya in terms of blocks per game. 2 blocks per game, effective as a rim protector. He has been one of the guys that are very active in the paint. Hindi lang, he doesn't just wait for those shots. Nandyan talaga yung timing niya. In fact, sinasabi nga natin, rock and roll nga siya. Minsan mga blocks niya pang rock and roll talaga. At syempre, yung second pick ni Beau is, of course, none other than the Spider-Man. Why do we have to mention him alongside si Almazan? Kasi first in the league din siya in terms of blocks per game. At alam mo, Z, knowing that Arwin is part of this group, despite his advanced age, syempre, it's for me, it's a bit of a minor miracle kasi yung having that ability to get the numbers that he has here that we're seeing 18.2 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per game, 2 blocks per game in a new team after moving from San Miguel. Grabe talaga. It's an incredible achievement for si Arwin Santos to be able to be that productive. And so far as who else does he have on that list?
All right, so Beau's third pick is the 6-time PBA champion and 3-time all-defensive team, JAPETH like it's hot, JAPETH Aguilar from Barangay Ginebra. Pao, tell me, how can you be consistent on this kind of level? Gaano ba kahirap makulusot sa mga big rim protectors nito sa list ni Beau?
You know, the interesting part about his list is that they all have yung profile na kailangan and they're mobile defenders, not just guys who just stand right in front of them, right in front of a guy and just wait for yung mga blocks. Tina-timing talaga nila. If you actually notice from the list here, he doesn't necessarily include yung tallest players in the league. He just picks the guys who have yung timing na yun and all of that. So, syempre, napakahirap to get through it. And a guy like, especially like si JAPETH Aguilar, he has yung athleticism na yun, he has that rim protection, that ability, that know-how, that veteran, like it's knowing where to be defensively And si JAPETH's a master of that. Grabe yung timing niya on the block. Pero interesting din yung napili ni Beau next because he's not necessarily a 5 guy. Who was that?
On his list is the two-time PBA champion, defensive player of the year, and seven-time all-defensive team, Gabe Norwood. Teammate niya to.
That's true. Itong si Gabe, I think that he's always been one of those guys that have had the ability to defend multiple positions wherever on the floor eh. At para sa akin na-mention to ni Gabe, ni Beau rather, na si Gabe Norwood is one of the best rim protectors in the league. That just goes to show yung versatility niya. Kasi he's a guy who can defend out on the floor, and then pero kung pinoste nyo siya, he'll be able to make sure that nothing really happens in term at the rim. And he's always been a lockdown defender. He has that reputation. And another guy na despite yung advanced age na yon, able to contribute, able to do a lot. And again, we talk about how age has been a recurring theme dito sa listahan
Yes,
ni Beau. Pero still, it's knowing where to be and doing the right things to make sure defensively you're okay.
So definitely it's being proactive. Height and age doesn't matter as long as talagang bibo pa sa ilalim ng rim. I think you're gonna be part of that list, that special list na ginawa ni Beau for tonight. And speaking of, last but not the least, ang fifth pick ni Big Beau Belga ay si six-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and five-time PBA All-Defense, the Kraken, Junmar Fajardo of the San Miguel Beermen.
The interesting about si Junmar, kasi grabe talaga. We all know him for his scoring and his rebounding. But then, again, he's fourth in the league in terms of blocks. But then, the fact of the matter is, grabe yung footwork niya. He's able to defend, he's able to move around and really seal yung rim and make sure that it'll always be difficult for anyone, really, to get anything done there. Again, he's one of the tallest guys in the league. And he is going to be one of the guys na kailangan mong talagang tignan and have to find ways to manufacture offense around him just to make sure that he doesn't get too active in whichever sets. If I'm not mistaken, I think si Beau might be here. Beau, nandyan ka na ba?
I think andito na siya.
Ayun. Kasi narinig ko na siya eh. Beau, nandyan ka na?
Gusto na niya i-defend yung listahan niya.
Ayun, actually may playlist yata si Beau sa background eh. So, tingnan natin mamaya kung maayos natin to. But, you know what? Don't go away because after this break, Beau Belga, hopefully we get him on the show. He'll have something really interesting for us here. Of course, we're talking about none other than his picks in his all-time NBA favorite team. Will the 1996 Chicago Bulls, will they do well against our powerhouse in the 2016 Golden State Warriors? Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Kamusta video? Kamusta ka?
Rosario. Now, the new year usually ushers in what many call a balik-alindog program. But my partner, Z Gervasio, surprised everyone with her balik indoor volleyball program. That's right. She signed with the F2 Logistics Cargo Movers, now inspired by my partner's return to indoor volleyball. Tonight, we'll put Z Gervasio in the hot seat as she dishes out her list of volleyball players who should come back to the sport we all love. Z, no pressure really. This is actually you putting pressure on those who could actually come back.
I know.
So, konting disclaimer muna. I think not sure if you want to say this, but then this
Go ahead.
list includes retirees na may asin
Mhm.
pa ng konti. Early retirees, players who migrate to beach volleyballs, and we're only limiting this to women's players. So, let's go with your first pick.
Right. First on the list, Matthias, who has played here for a long time, is two roses. And two roses, as we saw her perform in the conference, we saw at one point, there were days na talagang sabi ko, talagang maasahan ba nung si Sue Roses?
So,
And
Z,
she
sorry,
was
we're gonna
the
try and
glue
get
that
your.
held the team together.
Sorry, Z,
Okay.
we're gonna try and get
Is
your
it ready?
audio fixed up again. And as we
Okay.
talk a bit about this list again, once more, we're looking at some of the players that Z is trying to get back into playing indoor volleyball. Of course, yung unang pick niya is none other than Sue Roses. And of course, when you think of Sue Roses, she mentioned that yes, that person is a glue into whatever volleyball club she plays at. And I think we have Z back here. Z, what
Yes.
else did you mention that we didn't quite catch a while ago?
Right. So that's one thing, that she's still the glue of the team. And as we saw in her previous PVL 2021 conference performance, talagang pag kailangan ng point, bato mo na lang kay Kuya Sue. Like her style of play kasi is very mautak. Masasabi natin na hindi lang siya strong hits, kundi yung mga pa-check ball niya. Talagang yun ang maasahan natin kay Kuya Sue.
All right, so now let's move on. You have a couple more names here. Let's try to go through the two of them quickly before we move on to your honorable mention. Sino yung number 2 mo?
All right, my second on the list is Kim Hekeliana, which I think I can speak for everybody. Nakaka-surprise din na when she announced that she will retire from volleyball, maybe just for now, and hope we see her kahit sa courtside in the future. She was very solid. Siya yung nakakagulat na biglang pinapasok, and then she delivers. Talagang there was a time na parang pag pumasok na si Kim, oh no, kabahan na yung susunod, kabahan na yung mga kalaban.
Yeah, again, someone we want back on the court sooner rather than later, and hopefully, maybe down the road, there's a chance for that to happen. Of course, your last pick here before we move on to your honorable mentions.
Yes, I was actually texting her quite a while back. And then Jen Reyes, the libero for NU, she still has it. She's a pretty solid libero. She has the skill. She has the energy. She has the good vibe. A great teammate, a good all-around libero. Talagang maasama ko si Jen. Sabi ko, tara na, balik na tayo. Sabi niya, hintay ka lang. Malapit na siguro.
Malapit na, sana nga. And okay, so in your honorable mentions, you also have a great list here. And I'm going to answer the first one kasi this is the first name that always pops up every time I ask, who do you think should go back to indoor volleyball? And that is, of course, yung tandem ni Cici Rondina at ni Bernadette Pon. So, that aside, kasi yan yung pinaka-obvious na eh. Sino yung other two that you have in mind?
The other one is, of course, Kathy Bersola. If she wasn't on her journey towards being the best ortho doctor in her generation, I would gladly see her, be back on the hard court. Gigil na gigil yan parate si Kathy. So I love her energy. I love her grit. So it's definitely someone on the list dapat. And syempre, no need for further explanation for the woman in action, my batchmate, Gretchen Ho.
she'll drop a message to both of us right now if she sees this. Pero yes, go on, continue. Bakit siya? Kaya pa ba niya?
I mean, kita naman natin, fit na fit pa. Although doing a different sport, cycling is where her heart is right now. But she would drop in a few snippets of her being on the hard court and, swinging balls left and right. She still has a huge influence in the volleyball community, definitely. So, why not a cool, quick reunion on the hard court, diba, Pao?
I can guarantee you she misses it 100%. And Z, again, thank you very much for that list. Let's see whether or not you are the first of many returnees going into the indoor court again. Again, maraming salamat. And of course, we're not done with you yet. In fact, we're going to try to talk to Beau again later on. But meanwhile, the MVP group of companies, together with its partners, are in unity in spreading joy and hope this holiday season. And you can be part of this remarkable movement. This time, Libid Elementary School in Binangonan, Rizal, received a holiday surprise. Let's watch this.
Merong sumulat sa Alagang Kapatid Foundation mula dito sa Libid Elementary School. At sinabi nga niya, nung panahon ng pandemya, talagang naging mahirap para sa mga magulang. Nawala ng kita ang karamihan, nasira ang kabuhayan ng maraming magulang. And na-challenge din sila doon sa tinatawag nga natin na blended learning ng mga bata. Yung SOS sa Alagang Kapatid Foundation was talagang para sa magulang, tulungan yung mga magulang. Dinidescribe nila kung gano'ng kahirap yung pagpunta dito. Naisip namin kung gano'ng kahirap, tas dala natin kakaunti lang, hindi sulit yung biyahe. So sabi namin, sige, postpone natin ng konti, pero ipunan natin. Kinuha namin ang bayanihan ng maraming mga kumpanya at maraming mga individual. At kung kaya nabuo itong ating malaking gift giving sa hapon na ito.
Tuloy pa rin ang Pasko ng Pinoy kahit ano pa mang pasakit sa ating bumalaki. Pag-ibig sa ating puso ay mamamalagi na para bang ngiti dito sa ating labi. Basta ating mga puso ay magkakaritmo, magkasala.
Sobrang nakakatuwa sa puso na isa kami sa napiling bigyan ng Alagang Kapatid Foundation. At saka napakaswerte namin na yung malayo naming lugar, kung napansin nyo naman sobrang sikip nung daan, medyo struggle, hindi pa nagkasya yung track. At dun nga, sabi nga ng ating motto, tuloy pa rin ang Pasko, maligayang bayanihan Pilipino. Nakita natin kung paano magbayanihan yung mga taga dito sa amin na hindi kasya yung track, pero meron agad na tumugon para makapag-akyat ng lahat ng ipapamigay sa mga bata yon. Kaya maraming salamat sa Alagang Kapatid Foundation.
Nabuo yung tuloy pa rin ng Pasko. Inspired siya mula doon sa Paskong Kapatid na nabuo previously pa mula MVP CSR. Siyempre, kailangan natin itong ituloy kahit may pandemya.
Tuloy pa rin ang Pasko ng Pinoy kahit ano pa mapasakit sa ating bumalakid.
Dapat pasalamatan lalo na itong Alagang Kapatid Foundation na taos puso namin nadarama ang tulong sa mga mamamayan dito sa Libid.
We cannot protect just ourselves. Hindi pwedeng sarili lang natin ang poprotektahan natin. Kailangan kung tayo nagdiriwang ng Pasko, kailangan yung mga taong higit na kailangan ng pag-asa na matuloy pa rin ang Pasko at matuloy ang buhay. Yun ang ating mensahe. So, kailangan kung nagpapasko tayo, kailangan nagpapasko rin ang iba.
Asahan mo tuloy pa rin ang Pasko,
Let's do our part and spread the Christmas cheer to our fellow kababayans. You may send your donations to the accounts flashed on your screen or contact us on the following details. Tara na sa isang maligayang bayanihan Pilipino.
Tuloy pa rin ang Pasko, maligayang bayanihan Pilipino.
Now, when we return, we'll compare Beau Belga's all-time favorite NBA team, the 1996 Chicago Bulls, to another powerhouse in the 2016-17 Golden State Warriors. Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Oo, pa mic check naman, boss.
Hello, check.
Okay, thank you.
through the day, as we are delighted to finally having Big Beau Belga on our show tonight. We are dedicating this NBA segment especially for him. It is time for us to compare his favorite team, the 1996 Chicago Bulls, to another one of the greatest teams ever assembled in the NBA history, rather, the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors. Beau, nandiyan ka na ba?
Ito na. Pang-ano lang yata ako pang-studio lang yata ako
Wala eh. Alam mo, Beau, pwede lang sa studio tayong lahat, mas madali. Pero wala, hindi pwede.
Wala eh. Hindi, yun na. Sorry, I'm having problem with my net sa bahay. So, ayun. I'm back.
Yan, okay lang yan. So, okay, simulan muna natin dito. Bulls versus Warriors. Siyempre, the comparison has been made kasi people are now comparing. What if yung Warriors team with KD, kaya ba nilang talunan yung Michael Jordan Bulls mo? So, palagay mo ba may laban muna yung Bulls against a team like the Warriors? Na may KD, ha?
Pero naman, siyempre, hindi naman ako papayag na sasabihin na lang na hindi, kaya-kaya ng Warriors yun. May ano yun, siguro hanggang Game 7 and then whoever has the big heart, most likely will win.
So yung graphics muna natin dito, it says here 2016 Golden State Warriors, pero we mean the 16-17 Golden State Warriors kasi yung 16 Golden State Warriors 73-9, hindi sila nanalo eh. So let's not compare that group. Pero Z, what's your first question for Beau?
Right. Why did you pick itong 96 Chicago Bulls versus Golden State? Siguro in one aspect, ano yung inaangat ng Chicago Bulls versus the Dubs?
Unang-una siguro yung coach nila. Si Steve Kerr. Hindi, I'm an MJ fan. I'm not gonna deny it. Pero MJ fan ako. Scottie Pippen fan ako. And kahit anong mangyari, I'm still gonna be a fan of them. Kaya kahit sinong itapat mo dyan, Bulls pa rin ako.
True. Pero ito, realistically speaking, kasi yung Warriors may Steph Curry sila, may Kevin Durant sila. Sa palagay mo ba they have more star power compared to yung Bulls team na to?
Ako, I would say, more on shooting power. Pero sa tingin ko, it comes sa star. Kasi 96 Bulls has Dennis Rodman, you have Scottie Pippen, you have Luke Longley, you have Steve Kerr there. So, they have a star din. Pero yun nga, hindi pa ganun ka, alam mo yung straight shooter when it comes to dun sa era nila eh. And ngayon naman, si Steph, kahit na nasa logo yata ng kaya tumira eh, di ba? So, I would say more on sa shooting side.
Okay, siguro dito tayo. Quick questions. Who is the better star, Michael Jordan or Kevin Durant?
Michael Jordan.
Heartbeat.
Kaya walang aling-aling, walang second thought. MJ fan.
Walang debate dun, ha? And syempre, at least sa team na yun, so Michael Jordan, siya yung biggest star doon. Arguably biggest star si Kevin Durant sa Warriors, and even though it is Steph Curry's team. Pero the next guy in the line, Steph Curry versus Scottie Pippen, sino yung laman doon?
Lamang si Scottie sa height, pero sa shooting, patay. Diba? Sa defense, Scottie Pippen also. Rebounding, most likely Scottie Pippen. Ang nilamang lang ni Steph Curry, shooting. Bahala yung mga Warriors fan dyan. Basta yun ang opinion ko.
Okay, napaka-bias pala yung guest natin dito, Z. Pero mas pero mas balance yung next choice eh. Sino yung next comparison natin?
Speaking of kanina, we were talking about the big rim protectors. Dito naman, Dennis Rodman or Draymond Green?
Tabla.
Yun.
Kasi they have the same type of game. They don't need to get the ball, they don't need to score. They will get 20 rebounds in any given day. And they have yung ano ba, yung alam mo yung intensity na nadadala nung dalawa sa game. Pareho-pareho eh. Pareho-pareho eh. When it comes to hustle, ma-hustle si Dennis Rodman. Pero yun lang siguro, mas lamang lang si Dennis Rodman siguro sa yung mga, alam mo yung mga addicts, yung kung paano mampikon, kung paano mangasar, yun lang yung kinalaman ni Dennis Rodman.
Tama. Alright. Oh, ito, last question muna. If you had the chance to play in either of those teams, saan ka? 96 Bulls, 17 Warriors.
Batang 90s tayo. Doon tayo sa 90s.
Oo, yan ang sabihin ko eh. 96
Batang
si
90s
Beau.
tayo.
Oh, 100%.
Teammate ko si Michael Jordan, di ba? Why not?
Oo, bibigyan niya ng screen. Magbibigay siya ng screen para kay Michael Jordan. Ayun, yan yung gagawin niya. Grabe. Beau, again, thank you very much for joining us here today. Kasi alam ko medyo hassle yung connection, pero okay, salamat pare. Okay lang yan, okay lang yan. Alright, Z, take us away.
Alright guys, thank you for all you guys watching tonight. Napag-usapan natin basketball and volleyball. Thank you for joining us. I'm Z Gervasio.
Catch us weeknights here on One News, One Sports, and One Sports Plus. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.